20 seconds. Again, we're looking first for headline non-farm payrolls, consensus 200,000, 200. 211,000, 211. The average hourly earning 0.2%, which is in line. So again, headline NFP 211. Last month revised higher to 298 from 271. The total of the last 2 months revisions comes in at plus 35,000. The unemployment rate 5%. Again, average hourly earning 0.2% month on month in line. Year on year 2.3 also in line. The US trade balance deficit 43.9 billion, bigger than the expected deficit of 40.5 billion. And last month's deficit revised a little wider as well by around 1.5 billion. To the private payrolls, that came in at 197,000 above the 190 expected. The average hours worked 34.5, which is in line with previous, and the participation rate 62.5% above the expected 62.4%. The Canadian net change in employment minus 35,700, below the expected minus 10,000. The unemployment rate there 7.1%, which is above the expected 7%. The Canadian trade balance deficit 2.76 billion, bigger than the expected deficit of 1.7 billion. The Canadian employment change negative number was driven by part-time. Part-time was minus 72,000, full-time was plus 36,000. The Canadian participation 65.8. So again, bottom line, the headline non-farm payrolls, a small beat, 211 versus expected 200, but last month was revised higher by around 27,000, and the total revisions for the last 2 months were worth 35,000. The unemployment rate was in line at 5%. Bear in mind the participation rate ticked higher by a tenth to 62.5%. The average hourly earnings were in line with expectations, as were the hours worked. The underemployment rate came in at 9.9, above the expected 9.7, and the change in household employment 244,000. Above the expected 225. US trade balance bigger than expected deficit by around 3 billion, and last month's deficit revised bigger as well. And the Canadian trade balance also bigger than expected deficit. The Canadian net change in employment was more negative than expected, but that was driven by part-time employment. The unemployment rate in Canada above expected at 7.1.